welcome once again to Florida Championship Wrestling, and thank you so very much. What an hour we've got in store for you. First of all, we do have new Florida Tag Team Champions. More about that in just a moment. We also would like to say that the new champions are putting their titles on the line on today's program. We're also going to be seeing Perez in action and a host of others. We'll be hearing some very, very special words from the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and a situation that all of you are going to be very interested in concerning Johnny Ace. Let me introduce my co-host for today's program, Sir Oliver Humperdinck, cohort with Diamond Dallas Page. And where is Mr. Page?
Well, I got to tell you, Gordon, everybody knows by now that the Homecoming 2 is coming to Miami on May 6th. And Diamond Dallas, my good friend and compatriot, the head of the Diamond Exchange, is down right now in South Florida, getting the victory party all set up, talking to the caterers, talking to the hotel. We're going to have a great night that night, and I hope you come down and be our guest at the victory party.
Well, I'd certainly enjoy that, I'm sure. I'd like to ask you a question, sir. You've gotten personal with a man by the name of Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes has gotten personal with me. I'm talking about that punk kid of his, Dustin Rhodes. We fixed him up real good. I'm talking about Terry Funk at Homecoming 1. Just about put him out for good. And then, of course, Dusty Rhodes himself. Has he answered the challenge yet? Last week, Terry Funk, right here on this very program, challenged him to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre match, and I haven't heard nothing from the American Dream about accepting the challenge.
Well, let's take a look now what happened to Dustin, because I'm a little concerned about this entire situation. Here's a young fella who, as far as I can tell right now, the doctors tell me he's going to be out of action for probably 3 weeks. Here we see the situation where you had come into the ring to interfere.
He pulled me into the ring.
He did not pull you into the ring, sir. I happen to see it. And all of a sudden, Black Bart comes charging in. Referee Mickey J has his hands full at this particular point in time.
Now, you'll notice here that the leg is already injured at the hands of Terry Funk the week before, but Black Bart, the big, nasty guy that he is going to do a little bit more damage. He's going to rip those ligaments a little bit more with this move right here. Boom. And the kid is writhing in pain.
Well, as we said, of course, Dustin Rhodes is out of action for at least 3 weeks. We're very sorry to report that, and we certainly wish him a very speedy recovery.
Yeah, we sure do.
This is much to the delight of Sir Oliver Humperdinck. Now, the new Florida Tag Team Champions. This recently at the Bayfront Center in St. Petersburg, it was indeed the Terminator and Johnny Ace going up against the Nasty Boys, the Florida Tag Team Championship on the line. So if we may, let's go to the Bayfront Center and see exactly what happened. An amazing turn of events. This was in a steel cage. And here, Johnny Ace certainly holding his own extremely well against the Nasty Boys, Knobs and Sags. And now we've got all four in the ring.
Anytime you have a match like this, Gordon, with 4 competitors that are so eager to get at each other, and even though it's inside a steel cage, the action inside that cage, as you can see, is hot and heavy, brother. And the prize of this match is the Florida Tag Team titles, owned by Johnny Ace and the Terminator at this point. But as you said earlier, a strange turn of events happens now.
It does indeed. Now you see Sags in a lot of trouble here. The Nasty Boys, as you know, Knobs just coming off the injury list. He had a badly separated shoulder. And, of course, the Terminator and Johnny Ace just returning from quite a tour of the Far East. This was at the Bayfront on March 24th. And in the steel cage, the Florida Tag Team Championship on the line. And right now, Knobs looking extremely strong, and it looks to me at this point in time that they've got the Florida Tag Team Championship within their grasp.
It certainly does. This man Knobs is a house of fire right now with a big clothesline to Johnny Ace right there. But the Terminator, quick to break it up. I like this kid, the Terminator.
Now, let me ask you this question. Why are Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jagger suddenly...
It's quite simple, Gordon Soley. They came down before the match started to challenge the winners of the title match. And they're simply there encouraging...
Now, what he handed the Terminator something.
I didn't see that. That was a little bit...
the branding iron, the double B branding iron. Now, he caught Johnny Ace.
How do you know that belongs to Black Bart?
It stands to reason as far as I'm concerned. All right, Knobs getting the pinfall through some aid here that backfired as far as that part of it goes. The Terminator trying to get the Nasty Boy got his own partner, Johnny Ace, instead. And so the Nasty Boys and Knobs and Sags become the new Florida Tag Team Champions. And this isn't all that happens. This is the interesting aspect of it. Now look at this. Johnny Ace coming up very slowly. He was stunned by that blow into the chest. And he's now trying to explain. And, of course, absolute chaos and bedlam breaking loose here from the standpoint of confusion between Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart. And now look at this.
Johnny Ace simply was in the wrong place at the wrong time, Gordon Soley. First of all, he should have moved out of the way when the Terminator came off with what you call a foreign object, but he's so stupid and so slow that he stood right there. And then Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart come into the ring to congratulate after the match. And then what does he do? He turns his back on them. Well, I'm glad he got jumped, and I'm glad it happened to him. He should have been beat up more.
Well, the
stupid fellow.
Other amazing and very, very disappointing situation about this is that, well, you'll see it as yourself, the Terminator does exactly that. Here's Johnny Ace in tremendous pain. He caught that branding iron once in the chest, once in the pit of the stomach, and Ace looking out for his partner, the Terminator, the one who struck him, inadvertently, admittedly, I have to say that. But now look, referee Mickey J coming up very slowly, and the Terminator turns his back on his partner and walks away.
That, to me, it shows gumption on the part of the Terminator. I told you earlier that I like this kid. He's a good kid. He's going to go places. Johnny Ace, you're a wimp as far as I'm concerned.
Well, before you say that, let me tell you something about Johnny Ace. He is a man of direction. There's no question in my mind about that.
Down.
No, he's going to go up, I'll guarantee you. Johnny Ace had a statement to make that I think bears listening to at this point in time. Johnny Ace, this man, all of a sudden found himself deserted by the people that he thought were his friends.
Through his own stupidity.
Well, you say that. You say it through his own stupidity. Let's listen to the determination of this young man now.
I have a definite philosophy of what a great tag team should be. It should be two people come together as one to combine their abilities, their talents, and their knowledge in the sport of professional wrestling to achieve one goal, and that is to be the best they can be. Now, a few months ago, I went looking around to find a tag team partner, and I thought I found somebody I could trust. I thought I could find somebody I could depend on. And the other night, in the Bayfront Center, when I was beaten down like a dog, and I looked up, and I looked at my partner. He was staring at me with no emotions in his eyes, no feelings whatsoever. And I said, why? Why? And he turned his back and walked back down that aisle into the arena. Now, I have something to say. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. But another thing happened. Thanks to my good friends and fans around the arena, I felt support. I felt something deep within inside, which was support from you people. Now, there's something I want to achieve, and I want to be, and that's the best in this sport, because I love this sport, and I will give 100% to be the best professional wrestler I can be. But I'm not too big of a man to say I won't be beaten, and I can't be beaten. And I'm not too big of a man to say that I need your help. And there comes a time in every man's life when he has to look around and ask for help, and I'm asking you people for help. I need you, and with your help and your support, I can be the best I possibly can be.
Well spoken by Johnny Ace, and now we're going to be seeing the Florida heavyweight champion Al Perez taking on Mike Awesome. One fall, 10-minute time limit. There's the bell. Referee is Mickey J. And it is Perez in the black trunks with Mike Awesome, of course, in the yellow boots.
You know, if I could just digress for a moment and go back to Johnny Ace. Boy, I've heard some crybabies in my day, but Johnny Ace has got to be the biggest crybaby that I've ever sat out here and listened to, bar none. You know, if this guy's barking up the Terminator's tree, I think it's the wrong tree to be barking up.
Well, we're going to find out in the future, that's for sure.
Take a look at this fine athlete, Al Perez, the Florida heavyweight champion. What can you say about this guy that's not good? I know you'll find something.
No, as a matter of fact, all I can say is that other than the fact that he takes some shortcuts, he's a tremendously well-developed athlete. He's held championships all over the United States. He's a big, rugged man. Beautiful forearm by Perez. Caught Mike Awesome. Awesome came back, and Perez blocked him very nicely. Took most of that punch into the shoulder.
You know, this Awesome is a big kid, too. This is about the first or second time I've had an opportunity to see him. But he's definitely raw potential. If he stays out of the way of guys like Al Perez, they're going outside now to Cement City. And Big Al, my pal, he's got him up in a crushing body slam, brother. That jars every vertebrae, all 36 vertebrae. How many? 26, 32, it doesn't matter. This kid got them all jarred.
Well, there's 26 that are movable, 7 fused, and it is Perez back into the ring just long enough to break the count. And then gives Mike Awesome a helping hand back into the ring. So we said, of course, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Awesome, relatively new in the sport, but and there's only one way to get that experience, and that's get out there and compete. And, of course, he's competing against one of the very finest now in the Florida heavyweight champion, Al Perez. Perez, of course, has his sights set on the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and the Professional Wrestling Federation Championship.
That's exactly right, Gordon. If there's a word that I have to apply to Al Perez, it's methodical. The man is a thinking man's wrestler. He's planning moves 2 and 3 moves ahead of his opponents, and now he's got him up for that helicopter. And look at that, brother. Spin City.
Man, it is all over. I have yet to see anybody get up from that.
I'm going to go get a word with my man.
All right, Sir Oliver Humperdinck moving over to see if he can't get a word with Al Perez, the Florida heavyweight champion. We will be seeing the Big Steel Man in a special handicap match in just a moment or two. And as you saw here, of course, Al Perez brought his man up, put him into that helicopter, as he calls it, and then suddenly dumps him like a sack of potatoes, and it was all over. Watch Perez here in slow motion now as he brings his man up. Looks like he's going for a pile driver, but instead his opponent is taken off guard. He takes him into a backbreaker. From that backbreaker now begins to revolve, and as he does, the man, of course, begins to lose that very, very necessary equilibrium, and then suddenly Perez will dump him. The man flies free, hits the canvas, and Al Perez very quickly moves in, hooks that near leg, and has the partial lateral press, and he scores the pinfall. Let's go now to Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
Sir Oliver Humperdinck, your roving reporter here, talking to the Florida heavyweight champion, Al Perez. Al, what an outing that was. I have to congratulate you. You look great.
It's a pleasure to be out here with you, you know, Hump. First of all, I'm tired of being Mr. Nice Guy, because nice guys come in last. I was a nice guy with Mike Graham. I had to get mean and dirty and take something that he really wanted bad. Dusty Rhodes, I'm tired of being a nice guy with you. I came out here smiling just face to face. Now let's get it on. The heck with talking, brother. Let's get it on, because I want what you got around your waist, too.
Al, that's got to be one of the most prestigious titles in professional wrestling today, the PWF heavyweight title. And if I have anything to say about it, and I usually do, you're going to be wearing that one before too long, too.
Well, you know, Dusty Rhodes, the living legend. It's time to put the legend to an end. Dusty Rhodes, I'm tired of being a nice guy, like I said. I want that title around my waist, and you're the one holding it. You're in my way.
Big Al Perez, Dusty Rhodes coming for you. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsor.
My first dance. And who danced with me except Jeffrey Kaiser, the biggest nerd? Cheer up, you're drinking milk, and this is you in a few years. Not with this brace face and gross hair. Well, you're growing fast, and milk can help you get a great smile and gorgeous hair. But my body, the only difference between me and the guys is this dress.
Hey, you can see we turned out just fine.
Who is that?
That's Jeffrey Kaiser. Milk. It does a body good.
Earlier in the week, the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, was interviewed by Sir Oliver Humperdinck and Diamond Dallas Page. I think you should pay heed to what they have to say.
That's right, baby. Here it comes right now. It's such a pleasure to have you in here, brother. The Raging Bull part of the Diamond Exchange with the Hump, brother. How good do you feel having the man here?
I've got Mr. Tex-Mex with me now, Manny Fernandez, and as everybody can see, he's loaded for bear.
Esta noche van a ver los latinos de toda. Aquí, que seamos un hombre. El sueño americano. El dream. Dusty Rhodes. Pero como todos los latinos del mundo, nosotros somos campeones. Y van a ver que yo vine para este país para ser el campeón. You know, Diamond Dallas, you finally got it together, baby. You've been all over the world. You've been scoping all these so-called bad guys that are awesome, that can chill somebody to the bone. Well, here's the bone, Daddy. Come chill this. Yes, you're a legend, and you're the man, and you're the man in Florida. But the man has done moved in. It's time for you to move out. Florida will reign as the Raging Bulls territory, and I'm going to reign all over you, Dusty Rhodes. Then I'm going to start with a young guy.
I like
I'll
his
tell you,
attitude.
baby, that just about says it all. You got the two fused brains together here, baby. Let's go to some important messages.
And that important message is very simply this. Sarasota, Saturday, April 8th, Robarts Arena. Manny Fernandez going up against the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. The Professional Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. And that's one you don't want to miss. Now, let's go to the ring and Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
Carrying out a grand tradition that Diamond Dallas Page started, I want everybody to get up and welcome the man that's going to take on 2 men here today. The one and only B-A-double-D Bad, Big Steel Man!
There's the bell. 385 pounds of fury moving out there now. The Big Steel Man in a special handicap match. Rick Diamond and Cliff Sheets. And the Steel Man has refused to take on individual opponents. He said if he can't have title matches, he will take on 2 men at a time, and that's exactly what he's doing. Oh, man. Brought him up and destroyed him. Absolutely destroyed it. Diamond came charging in there, caught it. And it is all over. It is all over. The Big Steel Man just totally wiping out Cliff Sheets and Rick Diamond. You heard the bell, and now it's... Oh, wait a minute. What's he doing here? Oh, Diamond charges back in, and he had just wrapped some tape around his fist. Man, now he's punishing him with a tape fist. Now, that's uncalled for. That is totally uncalled for. Cliff Sheets, a youngster, had no chance whatsoever. And it is the Big Steel Man stepping over that top rope. Both men have been totally destroyed. And the Big Steel Man looking at his fallen prey, if you will, and totally confident. There he is, 385. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's on the far... Dick Slater has just come out. And he's got a roll of tape. Dick Slater's got a roll of tape. And I've said it before, I'll say it again about Dick Slater. He'll fight a buzzsaw and give it the first 2 rounds. And look at him. Wait a minute. Dick Slater saying, come on, Steel Man. And a Steel Man's not backing off. Sir Oliver Humperdinck may have gotten himself more into this thing than he had ever bargained for. The Big Steel Man charging Slater, and Slater up on that ring rope. The Steel Man brings him up a full body slam. And Slater brought up again. Now, Slater's about 245 pounds, and Slater rolls to one side. Slater gets to one side. He's back on his feet. And it's Slater. Some straight left hands, and then a roundhouse right that put the Big Steel Man down. And the Big Steel Man moves outside the ring. So he may have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. Of course, when he taped his fist and then went after Cliff Sheets and Rick Diamond, that was unforgivable. But now... And wait a second. Now they're battling outside the ring. And they're down on that hard concrete. And now it's Slater pounding away on the head of the Big Steel Man. And now Slater stalking Sir Oliver Humperdinck, and Humperdinck backing away. Well, we've got to get some order restored here. We'll be back. We'll be back in just a second. I'd like to remind a lot of you, of course, that we will be... One thing I like about Dusty Rhodes, and I think you'll have to admit this, too. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and, you know, there's only one Johnny Unitas. There was only one A.J. Foyt. There's only one King Richard Petty. There's only one Dusty Rhodes, and yet this man goes everywhere. He'll be in Leesburg on the 3rd. He's going to be in Jacksonville on the 15th. He'll be in Lauderdale on the 19th. And, of course, he will be in Sarasota on the 8th, as we all know. Well, Dusty Rhodes has got some comments to make that I certainly think bear listening to. You'll learn a little bit more about the American Dream. Dusty?
Here's Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, talking about Sarasota, but talking about the world. You know, the old Dubrows brothers down there in Newtown in Sarasota know what it is to be great athletes,
to be champions. Mr. Porter himself can tell you about it. So all my friends in that area got to understand the American Dream on the 8th is meeting the challenge of his lifetime, the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez Professional Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. They say with Dusty Rhodes, 3-time NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Many times Madison Square Garden and the WWF graced, if you will, my stage, the American Dream. And the AWA throughout the country was graced by Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. But here, with the Professional Wrestling Federation, I might have my final challenge. I might have my final conquest. And with this Randy Roberts, if you will, the man that shelled out all the money for Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, there's talk of the European area as far away as London, England, down to Madrid, Spain, and Paris, France. Because why? Because not only like Sarasota or the homecoming in Miami, the stages must be graced one more time by the legendary American Dream Dusty Rhodes. There is no challenge unanswered. So everybody from the man himself, the Hulksters, the Flairs, the Manny Fernandezes, the Al Perez, the Big Steel Man, dwell with the fact that the legend still walks this final walk throughout this country, in the Sarasotas, in the Immaculates, and yes, in the London, England. For there is no other. The single greatest sports attraction in our era now lives with the Professional Wrestling Federation. I'm his champion. If you want it, come and get it.
Six-man tag team match upcoming now. The Terminator and the Commandos, Ray and Boone, facing Scott Hall, Mike Graham, and Steve Kern.
What a match this promises to be, Gordon. Big six-man tag team action. I don't want anybody to forget we got the big Florida title match, tag team title match coming up right after this one here. But this one here promises to have a lot of action. You got some big boys in there right now. You got Commando Ray squaring off with young Michael Graham. And the people are really up for this one. They want to see it.
Well, Michael Graham is doing exactly what I thought he would do. He ducked away very nicely, keeping out of the grasp of Commando Ray. And,
you know, Gordon, I'm a little winded. I was just back there. I had to pull Big Steel Man off of Dickie Slater because I thought he was going to kill him.
Huh. I kind of saw it the other way around, Mr. Humperdinck.
Slater's lucky he got out of here with his life. He's lucky. Here's a kid I like, this Terminator kid, Johnny Ace. If you're barking up this gentleman's tree, brother, you're going to have a lot of trouble coming your way because the Terminator is one fine athlete.
Well, the Terminator, a beautiful drop toe hold by Mike Graham. Caught him coming off the ropes. This way Mike has crotched that leg and now tags up Steve Kern, moves in, and Steve Kern very quickly driving a knee into those femoris muscles. He's punishing that left leg of the Terminator, who should be called Judas.
Gordon. Just because a man decides to walk his own path, decides to be the captain of his own ship, decides to rewrite his own destiny, you call him Judas?
In deserting his partner the manner in which he did, yes. Very
His
frankly.
partner was a wimp.
Some good double teaming now as Big Scott Hall, all 6 feet 6 of him, 275 pounds, moves in, and it's Commando Boone. And Commando Boone and Commando Ray are two of the biggest men I've seen in the sport in a long time, both of them over 400 pounds. Wow! Hip toss by Hall, and Graham caught him with that short chopping right hand.
An illegal move. I didn't hear nothing coming out of your lips about that.
You know, you fight fire with fire, my friend.
Now, when you look at the six-man combinations we have here today, Gordon, so we see two established teams. One of those teams are the Commandos, and the other team is Mike Graham and Steve Kern, who tag team wrestled for a long time around the state of Florida. They're established. They know each other's moves. They can read each other's minds, and they're formidable opponents on any night.
Certainly no question about that. Talking to my friends the other day out of JJ's.
I've been there.
Hell yeah. And they all agree that Scott Hall puts Tom Selleck to shame when it comes to looks.
Well,
Scott Hall caught with a shoulder smash by the Terminator. Good leapfrog by Hall. Hall drops to the canvas. Terminator up and over. Hall up and a drop kick now by Scott Hall. Oh, and he moves like a lightweight.
ooh.
Side headlock tag is made. Mike Graham moves into the ring. Mike Graham, one into the side of the rib cage. Single leg pickup. And going back after that leg again, same one that Steve Kern was concentrating on earlier. The left leg, take away that one leg, and you really take away an awful lot of attack from a man.
Well, when you're talking smart wrestlers, you're talking Mike Graham, you're talking Steve Kern, you're talking Scott Hall. These guys know what they're doing every minute of the time. Michael Graham is a guy that likes to work on the legs and go for that figure four submission hold that his father made so famous. And Steve Kern, of course, being a partner, keeps going for that leg too, softening it up, trying to get that the guy in a position to put that figure four on him. But we got a couple of giants in the ring right now. I'm talking about Big Scott Hall and Commando Ray. This guy is double tough. I don't have to tell anybody he's big because they can see that. But as big as he is, that's how tough he is too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've watched Commander Ray over the years. He's used to cleaning up on people. There's no question about that, and he's doing it right now with Scott Hall. Crashed down as Hall tried to roll away. He caught only part of that impact.
He needs to get a tag here. Commando Ray needs to get a tag. Scott Hall makes a tag to Steve Kern. He's a house of fire. Look at this.
Off the ropes. Kern on his back and puts the sleeper hold on him.
Uh-oh. Make the ropes. Get to the ropes. Get to the ropes, Commando Ray.
Kern has the sleeper hold on. Now we got all six in the ring at one time.
Pandemonium is broken loose. Look
And
at it.
how this man is staying on his feet with that sleeper hold on him, I just don't know. All but unconscious. Mike Graham hurtled from the ring.
Oh!
Wow.
Smooshed.
Caught Kern, sandwiched him in between two Mack trucks. That drove the wind out of him. The referee
Double on
knocked
him.
from the ring. The
Double on
referee
him.
calling for the bell. And commandos were tripped up. But Steve Kern caught between those two forces, and Kern has got some problems here.
Brother, he is hurting for sure now. What a collision that was between Commando Boone and Steve Kern, and of course you had Commando Ray on the other side. What a collision.
All right, tell you what, we've got some interviews coming up that I think all of you should pay heed to, so let's take this time out. The Professional Wrestling Federation and Florida Championship Wrestling presents the Homecoming 2 in Miami at the Knight Center on May 6th. Advance tickets will go on sale on April 10th at all Ticketmaster locations. And Florida Championship Wrestling will be in Immokalee at the Immokalee High School Gymnasium on Friday, April 7th. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, will be there. The Big Steel Man and all of your favorite Florida wrestling TV stars will be on hand in Immokalee on April 7th. And then Fort Lauderdale at the War Memorial Auditorium. Tickets on sale now at all Ticketmaster locations and the box office. In a special challenge match, Scott Hall and Gator Kern take on the Southern Force. In a taped fist match, it'll be Dick Slater against the Big Steel Man with Sir Oliver Humperdinck. And then the Professional Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes faces the challenge of Al Perez. There will be 3 more exciting matches. Well, Steve Kern and Scott Hall are with me right now. An opportunity to take on the Southern Force.
I'll tell you, Gator, Gordon, sometimes you wake up and you just feel that you're in the right place at the right time. Well, the time is now. Florida's the place. All around me, I see Flamingo Madness growing. The word's out. It's no longer a rumor. It's for real, and everybody wants to be a part of it. Now, Gator, there's a couple loudmouths around here making a lot of noise, calling themselves the Southern Force. Well, here's a couple boys from the South who aren't going to back down from anybody.
I don't think I need to add anything to that, Gordon.
Fair enough. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sure Sir Oliver Humperdinck and his entourage have some comments.
What's the talk of South Florida? Florida Championship Wrestling's back. That's the talk. May 6th, the big one at the Knight Center. Homecoming 2. But let's not forget about Fort Lauderdale, Wednesday night, April 19th. Because on that great card, you're going to see Steve Kern and Scott Hall take on the Southern Force.
You know something? Black Bart and myself, I hear Gator Kern and Scott Hall talking about how they're from the South and they're not scared of anybody. We're from the South that didn't lose no war. Me and Bart are remnants of things past.
Fighting against your war.
That's right. And we're going to fight it again, baby.
And a war memorial, what a place. And then the big steel man tapes up these big old ham hocks here, brother. And he goes in the ring with Dickie Slater in a tape fist match. Well, Tricky Dickie, you've bitten off more than you can chew this time, boy. They're hard as rocks, and they're going to be landing all over your ugly head. And then for the PWF heavyweight title, the Florida champion, Al Perez, steps into the ring with Dusty Rhodes.
You know, Dusty Rhodes has been around for a long, long time. He's going to be around for a lot longer. He spent the better half of his life making himself what he is today. And I'm going to take it. Quiero que vengan a verme luchar. Mis compañeros y yo necesitamos su apoyo moral.
That's right.
Well, fair enough, gentlemen. Dusty, of course, a Immokalee first, but then War Memorial.
Well, I'm looking forward all over there. The McAdream clean as he can be. Mainly, Al Perez came out on this television show last week and said, I want you. So I said, let's stop talking about it and let's do it in Fort Lauderdale. And my man, Dickie Slater, going to take care of the steel man.
It ain't going to be pretty. I guarantee you that ain't going to be pretty. I know that I'm going to get beat up. I know I'm going to get split open. I'm not going to get a tooth knocked out. But I guarantee you one thing. Before the end of the night, Gordon Soley, these hands right here are going to have a lot of blood and skin on them. Now, the steel man, you're a big man. 7'2", maybe 400 pounds. But I guarantee you, steel man, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I'm a little bit faster than you, and when I lay the right on the side of your jaw, you're going to go out. I know that for sure.
It's all going to happen in Fort Lauderdale War Memorial Auditorium. Tickets are currently available at all Ticketmaster locations. And don't forget, Immokalee on the 7th. Florida Tag Team Championship coming up. All right, waiting for the Nasty Boys, the newly crowned Florida Tag Team Champions. And they're
Take a
moving
look
on.
at these two brain surgeons coming out here, huh?
Well, let me tell you something. I really have to admire them. They just won the titles, and they were challenged by your men, as you know. They wasted no time in accepting the challenge, and we're going to see it right here on television.
You know, as
They
long as
could
you
have
said
waited
that,
30 days.
as long as you said that, I guess I have to admire them, too. Anybody with enough guts to have haircuts like that and still walk the streets have got to be pretty good guys.
And pretty tough.
Yeah.
Pretty doggone tough, I might add. But I'll say this, that not many champions would do exactly what they're doing now, putting those Florida Tag Team titles on the line against Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers, the Southern Force.
In front of the entire world.
Yep. And the crowd, as you can hear, is very solidly in the corner of the Nasty Boys, Sags and Knobs. It's Sags moving out first against Hangman Bobby Jaggers. And the Hangman got his name deservedly so.
You know, Bobby Jaggers from Kansas, he's proud to be a Jayhawker. He'll tell you he's a Jayhawker. He doesn't care. Black Bart from the Pecos area of Texas, one of the toughest hombres ever to step out of the Lone Star State. And now against the Nasty Boys here on television with that Florida Tag Team title on the line. And Bobby Jaggers with a big body slam, misses with that elbow drop, tries for a second one, and the Nasty Boy rolls outside the ring when he gathers his thoughts. You know, when the going gets tough, these guys, they run, I see. No wonder they're in a cage at the Bayfront.
A strategic move, as far as I'm concerned. Sags moves back into the ring. Jaggers looked like he wanted to duke it up, and Sags said, fine, let's go for it.
How come when me or my boys do something like that, it's an underhanded, dirty move, and these guys do it, and you give them accolades for it?
It's their methodology. It's the way in which they do it, Sir Oliver. Full arm drag and twist now, and quick little bit of double teaming. Keeps the full arm drag and twist. Black Bart makes the tag. Remember now, this is for the Florida Tag Team Championship. Television time remaining. If need be, we will have a standby match, but knowing the caliber of these two teams, we could well go to the curfew.
Black Bart with the advantage now. He's got that Nasty Boy back right in the corner. This is a particularly dangerous man in the corner. As you can see, Black Bart unleashing a couple of right hands on him. Goes to whip him across the ring, but no, the Nasty Boy reverses, and Black Bart goes for the big backdrop there.
High backdrop on the part, and so Black Bart backing away, backs up near his own corner. studying his man carefully and complaining to the referee. And now he wants Knobs to come in the ring. So Sags complies with that request.
Take a look at this one now. Take a look at this one. This guy's a real classic. Take a look at this. I suppose you're going to tell me he dyes his hair black at the roots?
Well, I'm not into commenting on their personal habits, Sir Oliver. Irish whip by Black Bart, and he rolled away from that one very nicely. Caught him with a hard right hand, caught him with another right hand and another.
Let's call it a right fist, Gordon. Let's call a spade a spade. He's wailing on him with that fist, which, as you know, is not legal in the world of professional wrestling. Where's the referee now? Where are you now saying that that's an illegal move?
Well, knowing the tactics of Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers and the Nasty Boys had ample opportunity to watch them before, I figure they're taking the fire to the fire, if you will.
Well, if that's going to be the case, we're in for a wild one here today in Championship Wrestling. Black Bart now moving Nasty Boy Knobs back to the corner, but Knobs showing a little guts, fighting his way out of that corner. That's not in the game plan.
He's not afraid of either man, and let both of them know about it in no uncertain terms.
Now, this is a kid that the big steel man put on the shelf a couple weeks back. It looks like his shoulders repaired itself pretty well because he was swinging that arm pretty good.
He was indeed. Say, talking to Don Curtis about Knobs and Sags the other day up in Jacksonville, and Don was saying that they're rough and ready competitors. There's certainly no question about it. And currently, they are the Florida Tag Team Champions.
Bobby Jaggers with a look of determination on his face. I know that him and Black Bart have dreamed of winning the Florida Tag Team titles for a long time. In fact, when they made their return to Florida, that was paramount on their list, is getting those Florida Tag Team titles. And this is the opportunity of a lifetime right here today on television as the Nasty Boys make a tag. And Nasty Boy Knobs delivers a body drop to that outstretched arm of Bobby Jaggers and quickly into an arm bar, and Jaggers back to his feet.
Let's say to our thanks to R.C. Randy Roberts, the president of the Professional Wrestling Federation, for getting this match on television. I might point out, of course, all of our matches are sanctioned by the Professional Wrestling Federation. Any reproduction of these matches or anyone charging admission prices to see these matches without the express written authority of the Professional Wrestling Federation is strictly prohibited. Knobs and Sags sketching Black Bart coming in, and Black Bart saw stars on that one. Those eyes rolled skyward, and now they're back with an arm bar on Black Bart.
You know, when you said about them charging admission, this match would be a main event in any arena across the country. And here today in the Professional Wrestling Federation show, it's free to the public.
Amen to that. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a short commercial break here, and we'll be back with more action on Florida Championship Wrestling. Florida Tag Team Championship on the line. Neither team able to score a pinfall or submission hold while we were away. It is the Nasty Boys, the Florida Tag Team Champions, defending their titles against the challenge of the Southern Force, Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers. One fall, television time remaining. And right now, Knobs is in trouble.
We should tell the people that while they were away, the tide of battle swiftly switched and now is in favor of Black Bart and Bobby Jaggers, and I couldn't be happier as they work over Nasty Boy Knobs. Bobby Jaggers now, the Hangman from Kansas, with a big elbow, puts Nasty Boy Knobs right flat on his back. And, brother, if this guy wants this match to go too much longer, he better get to his corner and tag his partner, because these two guys right now, the Southern Force, are doing a big number on Nasty Boy Knobs.
Well, time is on the side of the Nasty Boys. As each second ticks down, we get closer and closer to the end of the program, and that means, of course, in that event, the Nasty Boys retain their titles. But right now, Knobs is indeed having some real serious problems. Black Bart pulling out all stops now on Knobs. Knobs sinking down onto that bottom rope.
The prize at stake again, the Florida Tag Team title, one of the most prestigious titles in the world of professional wrestling. And these guys going tooth, hammer and nail, hammer and tong right now in the heat of battle. Black Bart delivering a big blow to the Nasty Boy Knobs. Got him covered, a 1 and 2. Just
Lateral
barely
press, but Knobs powers away from it. Here's a man who is grimly determined to hang on to that Florida Tag Team Championship. But right now, Black Bart continues to... some double teaming here.
Now, when they were doing it, you didn't say anything. But as soon as the Southern Force starts to use the rules to their advantage, you're going to jump all over their case, right?
Well, he was away from his corner, number 1. Got a half front chancery on him, number 2. Had him choked against the ropes, number 3. Certainly that calling attention to. Knobs beginning to fire back now. And once again, the tide of this battle may be turning. Both men colliding in the center of the ring. And Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Sags both shouting encouragement to their tag team partners, but it is Hangman Bobby Jaggers who makes the tag. And now it's Sags making the tag. So we've got 2 fresh men in the ring, and it's Sags exploding with a couple of hard right hands. Catches him with another haymaker right. Irish whip off the ropes. Jaggers. Big backdrop.
This nasty boy is full of fire and vinegar here. He's not exactly the poster boy for the Dental Association. He's got about 9 teeth missing in his head, but he's doing a number right now on Jaggers, but he wasn't able to get the pin. Bobby kicked out on 2. Black Bart knocked out of the ring right now.
Hey, wait a minute.
Look at that nasty boy grab that branding iron. He's going to hit somebody with that branding iron. He needs to get that away from him.
Well,
what a dirty wrestler, this guy.
No. Black Bart started to... wait a minute.
Turn around, referee, turn around. Look at this, look at this.
Oh. His legs were clearly outside the ropes.
What an upset. And you see it right here on Championship Wrestling for Florida. I happen to love it because I've got a vested interest in the Southern Force, the new Florida Tag Team Champions, Gordon Sully.
Well, I'll tell you what, the referee unfortunately didn't see it. Let's take a look. Now, you saw there the attention distracted.
Got that branding iron. You can see the referee with Knobs over there on the other side of the
Now,
ring,
look at this. Black Bart deliberately tripping
the
them.
other guys back there. I was watching the referee. I didn't see nothing happen over here. Look at this.
Well, and the referee is unable to see this.
3 ski.
All right, so for the moment, Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart have won the Florida Tag Team Championship. A travesty if I've ever seen one. We'll be back. The Professional Wrestling Federation in Florida Championship Wrestling presents the Homecoming in Miami at the Knight Center on May 6th at 8 p.m. Advance tickets will go on sale at all Ticketmaster locations on April 10th. And Florida Championship Wrestling will be coming to Immokalee, the Immokalee High School Gymnasium on Friday, April 7th. Advance tickets are available at the box office, and the night of the matches, you'll be seeing a Professional Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship featuring the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. The Big Steel Man will be there, Dick Slater, and all of your favorite television stars, including the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, Al Perez, and more. And then in Fort Lauderdale, War Memorial Auditorium, advance tickets are currently on sale at all Ticketmaster locations. In a special challenge, Scott Hall and Gator Kern take on the Southern Force. In a tape fist match, it'll be Dick Slater against the Big Steel Man. And the Professional Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship, Dusty Rhodes against Al Perez, plus 3 more exciting matches. That's in Fort Lauderdale. And don't forget, Immokalee on the 7th. For the following business firms in the Bahamas, of course, Bahamas Air and Charlie's Place. Here stateside, our special thanks to Affordable Copies, where they only charge $35 per hour for copier repair, and that's about 50% of the regular cost. Also, we'd like to thank Carrollwood Office Services. If you need secretarial services of any kind, sales reports or logs, please call Carrollwood Office Services. Ask for Cynthia Bissell. And we certainly want to thank Gulf Southern Enterprises, painting and drywall contractors, and DeVoe Paint. Now then, we've got a very, very special word upcoming with the new Florida Tag Team Champions of Southern Force. Let's go to Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
It is my distinct privilege at this very moment to introduce to you the new Florida Tag Team Champions, the Southern Force, Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart. Guys, what a match it was, and what deserving champions you will be.
Humperdinck, when I come back to the stinking, lousy state, I said that me and Hangman Bobby Jaggers was going straight to the dadgum top. Now then, for you people that just watched that dadgum match, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we are the top tag team in this dead-gum area. But now, we got a little gold to prove it. We're going to carry this around, and guess what? All of you wrestlers that listen to my voice has got a challenge, and I'll give it to you. Come and get them, because there ain't a stinking, lousy one of you got the guts or the intestinal fortitude to get in the ring with Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart. Bring it on down, boys. Get us. I don't think you can.
Again, congratulations, guys. You're going to be great champions. We've got a standby match ready in the ring. Let's go up to the ring and our co-host, Gordon Soley.
All right. El Diablo in the ring now, and I think we'll be seeing the Italian Stallion coming out. The Italian Stallion, a very popular young competitor. Twice National AAU Amateur Wrestling Champion. Good, solidly built youngster. There's the bell. Only moments remaining here on the Florida Championship. And very quickly, belly-to-back suplex. Quick ride, a quarter Nelson.
Gordon, not a lot of people know this about this kid, but he was a former AAU champion.
Yep,
Two different occasions.
I just mentioned that. Beautiful drop kick. He's made the transition from the amateur ranks to the pro ranks in extremely fine fashion. Smashing El Diablo into the turnbuckle. Irish whip. Oh, caught him with an elbow that time, and that had to jar his teeth loose.
I wonder how he feels now that his partner, Dustin Rhodes, been put on the shelf for about 3 weeks.
Well, I'm sure we're going to find out. The big spin.
Ooh.
And that takes him out. That takes him out. A very, very quick pinfall by the Italian Stallion, and certainly a fine victory notched up in almost record time. By the way, next week here on Florida Championship Wrestling, we will be seeing Al Perez defend his Florida Heavyweight Championship against a former Florida Heavyweight Champion.
Now, who could that be? Mike Graham?
Could be Steve Kern.
Dusty Rhodes?
Could be Dusty Rhodes.
You're not going to tell us?
No, next week. Tune in, find out. That's all the excitement about. And I want to say one thing, too. Your man, the Steel Man, may have done just exactly the wrong thing. If he wants to tape fists, the man he doesn't want to mess with is Dick Slater.
We fear no individual that walks the face of the earth, and that includes Dick Slater. Tape him up and come on down anytime you got the guts to. We'll be ready for you.
You think so?
I know so.
I see. Well, I must say this. Dusty Rhodes, of course, is a marked man when you got Manny Fernandez looking for him. You've also got the big Steel Man. And here's exactly what we were talking about a moment ago. There's Dick Slater moving in. He had taped his fist. And look at the way he's rocking and rolling on the big Steel Man. And there's a roundhouse right that catches him, that drops him to the canvas. And the Steel Man.
That was but a mere skirmish, Gordon Soley. When they meet head-to-head in the ring, it's going to be a battle, it's going to be a war, and it's going to be something that I'm not going to be able to stop, and I'm not going to stop.
Well, how come you were so quick to try and stop him here?
Well, I wanted to talk to him in the back. He had a phone call in the back. I wanted to tell him about it. Anyway, what a great program today. It was a pleasure being out here with you, my good friend Diamond Dallas Page. I think we'll be back here next week with you. But it's going to be a great show next week, too, that Florida title match. A lot of good things happening. Flamingo Madness running wild. And it's been your pleasure, pal.
Indeed it has. May I just say that whenever you see the PWF emblem displayed, you know that you're going to see the very optimum of professional wrestling competition. We certainly hope that you will join us for the live matches throughout the entire state of Florida, and that you will join us again next week at this same time on this station. Okay. Until then, for the Professional Wrestling Federation, so long from the Sunshine State.